as a kid growing up, you would walk into a restaurant and there would be like an older woman that could be your grandmother running like a restaurant like this. And it's just like, she has like a stink attitude and what you want? What you want? You want a patty? You want juice? What you want?
When you think about New York street food, you think pizza, pretzels, and hot dogs. But why aren't we talking about the Jamaican beef patty? You find them everywhere. Pizza spots, hot dog carts, bodegas, and of course, bakeries in any Caribbean neighborhood. But if you think a patty is a patty is a patty, you're dead wrong. We're in New York City, my stomping grounds, and there's no shortage of passionate opinions.
The short answer to what a Jamaican patty is would be, it's a meat turnover. It's a snack, it's a hand food.
You're on the go, you want something, you can't wait for that heavy food. You know, that's the first thing come to your mind, you can have 2 patties.
Once you bite a patty, if it's good, the crumbs must fall.
When I was a young reporter covering Brooklyn, one of the great stories of that era was sort of the great Caribbean migration to Brooklyn in those years. In 1970, there were about 100,000 non-Hispanic immigrants from the Caribbean. And by 2000, it was close to 600,000.
So that people started various businesses, in some ways almost as a side hustle. And then gradually those things took over and became enormous. I mean, you know, the patties in New York is a big deal.
For my friend DJ Clark Kent, there's no middle ground. Not for hip hop, not for sneakers, definitely not for beef patties. The right way is the Brooklyn way, AKA the Jamaican mom and pop bakery way. How do you eat your beef patty?
A beef patty is a beef patty. There's no such thing as a mild beef patty. If you get a grandmother to make it, she doesn't make it mild. Because beef patties are supposed to be one thing.
The plain crust, $1. Aki crust is $2.50.
As in somebody's grandmother back there cooking.
My friend Clark here is such a purist that he doesn't even believe that a veggie patty or a mild patty is a real patty.
He's right.
I mean, I'm scared to even ask, but what about cracking it open, layering it with cheese?
Fuck no.
Adding some pepperoni, sticking it in a pizza oven.
That's not a beef patty. You go to a pizza shop to buy a beef patty, you're a dumbass. They're going to buy manufactured ones that are frozen, put them in an oven, make them hot, add cheese to make it their own. No, get the fuck out of here. That's not a beef patty. That's an abomination of some shit that Caribbeans came up with first. As soon as you disrespect my culture, I have no love for it.
Have you ever had one?
Absolutely not, and I never will. You know why? Because I'm Caribbean, and I'm true to it.
When you're in Midtown and you see a hot dog cart and there's like the hot dog in the murky water, there's also the picture of the beef patty. Who's ordering that patty?
Trash buyers. It's like a dude who goes to Canal Street to buy jewelry.
Yeah.
He's a trash buyer.
Yeah, but that's also part of the New York experience.
Okay.
People are coming to New York.
Eat hot dogs that came out of pea. Good for them, no.
They want the carriage ride in traffic with a poor, bedraggled, beaten down horse.
They're shitting in front of them for the whole ride.
What about this concept that by having a beef patty in the bodega, at the pizza shop, that's actually spreading Caribbean culture to the masses?
It's spreading the gentrification of Caribbean culture.
Let's say the family that started Golden Crust or Tower Isles, don't you think that they want that mass gentrification because that's success?
Money. It's success. It's money. I get that.
Yeah.
But then you lose all of the stuff that made it good in the first place because you're not making it the same. Me personally, if I couldn't find a real one and there was a Golden Crust there, I'd eat cereal.
Clark is one of those beef patty purists, but you can't deny those Golden Crust awnings are everywhere.
Some of the proliferation of the patty may very well be due to the entrepreneurial skill of the people who run the large companies.
There are 122 Golden Crust locations around the country, and if you ask CEO Lowell Hawthorne, the mainstreaming of brand Jamaica is just getting started.
Everybody's my competition. McDonald's is my competition. Subway is a competitor. Today, the golden crust patties are in the military, the penal systems, the New York City school systems, and of course, 33 countries. We are close to 1 billion being served.
The beef patty has infiltrated everyday New York life in other ways, too. If I walk into any bodega in any neighborhood in this city, I'm gonna find a Jamaican patty in the cold cuts case. That's where New Yorkers find their common ground. That's where the patty does, too.
I'm here so much I got credit. You know how much of a hood legend you gotta be to have. Yo, you got my credit?
$10.
$10. What I bought? What is it?
Ice cream.
Come on, see?
For people who don't live in New York,
Yeah.
they don't quite understand. They
how
think
much
that
of a religion this is.
They think it's a convenience
Nah,
store.
this place raised me. That guy right there known me since I was 6 years old. You know, there's days where I had to let them feed me and not pay it back. That's kind of like the relationship you have with your bodega. This is the cornerstone of where we come from.
Yeah, this is home,
Yeah, it's home, literally home.
where you feel the most
The
comfortable.
most comfortable.
Trust everybody.
Everybody.
And they know your order.
What I'm gonna get, y'all?
Beef patty with cheese.
See what I'm saying? I've been eating beef patties forever. I'm the same guy, but I just happen to eat mine in the back of a Phantom. I work hard, why not?
Does this also have to do with, like, I mean, how did you get this hashtag, the hood Anthony Bourdain?
Anthony Bourdain was always an idol to me. So when I started making my, money, I was like, man, I want to start trying all these things and start expanding my palate, but I still eat patties and I still eat chopped cheese and I still eat at the bodega. So I'm like Anthony Bourdain for the hood. I could show guys from my neighborhood like, hey, we can go to Mr. Chow and you can try squid and all these things you would never try, but we can still come back and be comfortable in our own skin. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to change who you are.
Okay, so now we are pulling up.
It's my barbershop. It's my barbershop. You're like, these guys are the same guys that order the beef patty up the block, send the kid, whoever's getting a haircut. Yo, you next? All right, you want to be quick? Go get me a beef patty, I'll cut you next.
All the people that you love, that have raised you, that is your support network, they don't all look just like you.
It's a melting pot, you know? The cultural divide is right there in the beef patty, right? It's a Caribbean thing, but everybody over here eats beef patties, whether you black, Spanish, white, Indian, you eat beef patties. That's what makes the beef patty kind of like a conduit to the cultural little spots like the hood, right? If it's not a bodega or a pizzeria, I'm not eating a beef patty.
Why?
It's just not it.
Just blocks away from where Upscale Vandal and I shared a patty in a Phantom is the home base of Tower Isles. Where unspoken rival Golden Crust is all about self-branding, Tower Isles has made its mark by infiltrating that other New York icon, the pizza spot.
They started out as a very small family operation, and so they took a big risk. And they took out a loan from the Small Business Administration, opened up a much bigger factory, but now they had to move all those patties. And so they went to somebody that I'd never heard of before. They called him a jobber.
And he started buying for us to go into the pizza stores.
It was almost a metaphor. You had these pizza places that would take a Jamaican beef patty, they would split it open with a knife, they would sprinkle in mozzarella cheese, put it in the pizza oven, melt it, and serve it.
And in no time, got us into all the pizza stores in New York City.
Suddenly they had people who were from all over the place were eating beef patties who wouldn't have necessarily known about it.
So is the pizza patty an abomination or an evolution? I knew I'd get a real reaction from my girl Judnick, a Flatbush native who somehow has never tried one.
The Brooklyn pizza slice is like just as much of a staple of being from Brooklyn as the patty is. So a pizza patty is just an amalgamation of the same thing you see happening. The real patty spots close early. So like patties like the first thing you run out of at the bakery. So if you have patties after, 1, 2 o'clock, you kind of have a monopoly on the system.
How many patties are you selling a day?
2 boxes, 24 in a box. That's like 50.
Who are you selling them to?
A lot of Jamaicans, a lot of Caribbean. People like pepperoni, cheese, sausage and cheese, sometimes even lettuce.
All right, right now we're gonna dig into Judnick's first ever pizza patty.
This is delicious. They're still serving it to mostly Caribbean people. It's still us, and it's still us It's a custom order thing. It's an American, it's a Brooklyn thing, it's a New York thing. We came here to live and be around other people, and if an Italian pizza spot can make us place on their menu for Jamaican beef patties, that's a good thing. It's like, my Habibi sells beef patties. I don't go in there and go, culture vulture. You steal it from me. Like, no, it's just like, thank you for having patties at 2 a.m. because I'm starving.
That isn't a watered down Caribbean experience.
No, because they don't even know we exist. What do people know about the islands? Nothing. People don't even know islands outside of Jamaica and Haiti. Food is like the easiest way to do that because you don't need to talk so much, you know what I mean? And I like the idea of like a kid in Berlin knowing about a beef patty. It's delicious, it's a great snack. People don't come to New York to be in the Caribbean community unless you know of it already. You're not gonna see it in the Times as much, or you might see it every few years, like, oh, like, new Caribbean craze. We just figured out oxtail exists, like, and that's just because someone went like further in the safari than last time. I don't want to be an exotic experience. I want it to be as American as XYZ.
My thing is, can you take the Jamaican beef patty out of context? Or is where you have one as important as what's in it?
If you weren't from here, you really don't get it.
I could be in LA for 2 months, I could be in Miami, but I know that when I come back here and I get a beef patty with cheese and go to the crib, like, I'm gonna feel home.
You don't live till you eat a patty, you have to try a patty.
They've kind of muscled into like the fast food pantheon of things that people eat all the time.
When you start talking about classic New York street food, I think the patty is on its way.